Welcome to Quick Reads for Success, the channel where powerful books become tools for building the life you've always dreamed of. Today, we're uncovering the secrets of the wealthy in The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko. This isn't just another money book, it's a deep study of real millionaires, based on years of research and interviews. And I promise, what you're about to hear will surprise you. When we think of millionaires, what comes to mind? Maybe you picture celebrities walking red carpets, CEOs in private jets, or Instagram influencers showing off luxury cars. But here's the shocking truth. Most millionaires don't live like that at all. They live in regular neighborhoods, shop at discount stores, and often drive cars that are several years old. They look so normal, you might walk past them every day and never suspect they're millionaires. That's the secret, and that's exactly what this book reveals. If you stick with me until the end, you'll learn the habits, values, and strategies that can help you join their ranks. The authors start with a bold statement: wealth is often invisible. The true millionaire doesn't announce himself with flashy jewelry or the latest luxury gadgets. Instead, he lives quietly, building his fortune brick by brick. In fact, most millionaires live in middle-class neighborhoods, sometimes even in houses they've owned for decades. Their neighbors often have no idea they're wealthy. Stanley and Danko classified millionaires into two main groups: PAWs, or prodigious accumulators of wealth, and UAWs, or underaccumulators of wealth. PAWs are disciplined savers and investors who accumulate much more than the average person in their income bracket. UAWs, on the other hand, may look rich from the outside. Fancy cars, designer clothes, big houses, but they're drowning in debt, and their net worth is surprisingly low. The authors make it clear, the difference between these two groups isn't income, but behavior. One of the strongest traits millionaires share is frugality. They don't waste money trying to impress people. They don't feel the need to prove they're rich. Instead, they focus on what matters: financial freedom. Frugality isn't about being cheap, it's about being intentional. Every dollar they earn has a purpose. They choose not to spend on things that don't improve their lives in the long run. Take cars, for example. The study found that most millionaires don't buy new luxury vehicles. Many drive cars that are 5 to 10 years old. Why? Because they understand that cars are depreciating assets. Instead of throwing money away on something that loses value, they put that money into investments that grow. Imagine this. The difference between spending $50,000 on a brand new car versus $20,000 on a reliable used one could be hundreds of thousands of dollars over time if invested wisely. That's how millionaires think. Millionaires don't just manage their money, they manage their lives. The authors emphasize that the wealthy carefully plan how they spend their time, energy, and money. They create budgets, set financial goals, and measure their progress. They treat wealth building as if it's their personal business. Think about this for a second. How much time do most people spend planning vacations, shopping online, or watching TV? Now compare that with how much time they spend planning their financial future. For many, the balance is completely off. Millionaires flip this equation. They dedicate time to investments, saving strategies, and learning about finance. This consistent focus on planning is one of the biggest reasons they succeed. One of the most powerful themes in the book is this: millionaires care more about financial independence than social status. They aren't playing the game of who has the bigger house or who wears the most expensive watch. They care about freedom. Freedom from debt. Freedom from financial stress. Freedom to choose how to spend their days. Think about it. Would you rather look rich or be rich? Most people chase the image of wealth, but end up broke. True millionaires, on the other hand, quietly stack their wealth in assets, stocks, businesses, and real estate, instead of flashy liabilities. That's why many people who appear wealthy aren't financially free, while those who look ordinary often are. The book also reveals something surprising. Most millionaires aren't in glamorous careers. They're not Hollywood stars or Silicon Valley tech moguls. In fact, Many millionaires are business owners, professionals, or even people in jobs you wouldn't expect, like plumbers, teachers, or small-town doctors. What sets them apart isn't their occupation, but their discipline. The authors explain that wealth is more about behavior than income. A high-earning lawyer who spends recklessly might have less net worth than a schoolteacher who saves diligently. That's why you'll often find millionaires running small businesses, practicing modest professions, or working in industries that don't scream wealth. It's not about the job, it's about how you handle your money. One of the most fascinating insights is how millionaires raise their children. While many people assume the wealthy spoil their kids, the truth is the opposite. Most millionaires are extremely cautious about giving money to their children. They know that too much financial help creates dependency, laziness, and entitlement. Instead, they raise kids with strong values, independence, responsibility, and the ability to earn their own success. Stanley and Danko highlight that when children are shielded from financial struggle, they often fail to develop discipline. Millionaires, therefore, prefer to teach their children about saving, investing, and delayed gratification. They know that passing down knowledge and values is far more powerful than passing down money. The authors introduce a powerful concept called economic outpatient care, or EOC. This refers to wealthy parents who regularly give financial gifts or support to their adult children. At first, this sounds generous, but the research showed it usually has negative effects. Children who receive EOC often spend more, save less, and fail to build their own financial independence. Instead of learning discipline, they rely on handouts. Over time, this dependency prevents them from ever becoming truly wealthy. Millionaires who avoid EOC, on the other hand, raise children who are self-reliant, ambitious, and capable of building their own success. Another critical factor in wealth building is choosing the right spouse. The research found that most millionaires have strong, supportive partners who share their values. They marry people who are equally frugal, disciplined, and focused on long-term goals. This makes sense, doesn't it? If one partner is careful with money while the other spends recklessly, building wealth becomes almost impossible. Millionaires understand that marriage is not just about love, it's also about partnership in values, especially financial values. A financially supportive spouse can make or break your journey to wealth. If you've made it this far, it tells me one thing: you're serious about learning, growing, and achieving financial success. And I respect that. If you're finding value in this video, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to QuickReads for success. It motivates me to bring you even more powerful lessons from life-changing books. Together, we're building a community of people who are determined to rise above average. Let's continue to the track. The authors share a fascinating formula to measure wealth. Multiply your age by your annual income, then divide by 10. That's the net worth you should have to be considered average for your income level. If your actual net worth is higher, you're a PAW, a prodigious accumulator of wealth. If it's lower, you're a UAW, an under-accumulator of wealth. This equation highlights a critical truth. Wealth isn't about how much you earn, but how much you keep. Someone making $60,000 a year who saves and invests can easily outpace someone making $200,000 a year who overspends. The formula reveals whether you're truly building wealth or just pretending. True millionaires think long-term, beyond their own lifetime. But here's the key: they don't just pass down money. They pass down habits, values, and financial education. They understand that if you give a child wealth without wisdom, it will vanish. But if you give them wisdom, they can create wealth for themselves and their families. That's how wealth survives across generations. In the end, the Millionaire Next Door makes one thing clear: wealth is about freedom. The freedom to choose how to spend your time. The freedom to walk away from a job you hate. The freedom to spend life with family, travel, or pursue passions without worrying about bills. Millionaires know that true luxury is not a Lamborghini. It's waking up every day knowing you're in control of your future. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from the Millionaire Next Door? Becoming wealthy isn't about luck, inheritance, or earning a six-figure salary. It's about adopting the habits of the wealthy. living below your means, avoiding debt, saving consistently, investing wisely, and thinking long-term. It's about valuing freedom over appearances. And the best part, anyone can do this. You don't need to be born rich. You don't need a glamorous job. You just need discipline, patience, and the courage to live differently from the crowd. The Millionaire Next Door isn't a myth, it's a reality. And it could be you. Thank you for watching this summary of The Millionaire Next Door. If you found these lessons eye-opening, don't keep them to yourself. Share this video with a friend who dreams of building wealth. And don't forget to subscribe to QuickReads for Success, where we break down the world's most powerful books into practical steps you can use today. Remember, wealth isn't about looking rich. It's about living free. Start applying these lessons now, and who knows, one day, you might just be the millionaire next door.